Hello, everybody. Welcome to Old Tales of Nevada, past and present. I want to ask you a question. Where were you on January 15th, 1967? If you can't remember, we're going to remind you here right after this break. Hi, friends. Join us November 12th for a gala evening of wine, hors d'oeuvres, and beautiful music at the Marshall Mansion. Seldom open to the public, this is your chance to tour the fabulous Reno landmark. Enjoy your favorite beverages surrounded by soothing music as you view the world-class treasures hidden within this iconic home. Hosted by Roy and Cynthia Marshall, this is an evening you will long remember. Tickets are limited and benefit our educational programs, the Nevada Historical Society, and the Veterans Guest House. Reserve yours today. Welcome, everybody, to Old Tales of Nevada, past and present. I'm John O'Brien, the host of the show, and as usual, Roy Marshall's with me. And Roy, welcome back from your trip to Mendocino. Good to see you again. We got a great show. Great show. Talking about the history of the NFL.
I know.
National Football League, and the AFL, for that matter. Yeah, we got to remember that. But we have with us our special guest today is Martin Harrison, and he played with the 49ers in the 90s. And then we have Chris Burford, who played for the Kansas City Chiefs back in the 60s and was actually in the first Super Bowl. So we're going to have a great time talking about sports today, and especially football. So I'm glad you're with us, and you're going to enjoy this story. It's a lot of fun. We want to go to Roy, as we always do, because Roy always tells us why we do the show. And Roy, I'll just turn it over to you for a few moments.
Yeah, you betcha. We do this show and have been doing it for
a long time.
7, 8, 9 years.
Yeah, at least 7, I think, with radio.
Yeah, the principle is that we find the community leaders or the people in our area who have interesting stories about their history that we think that should be included at the Nevada Historical Society and to be written in the documents at UNR's Special Document Division.
Right.
And there wasn't any type of entity like this. And the state of Nevada is also interested in the show, too.
I know.
And probably as we get older or whatever, this show will continue on. Though.
Yeah, exactly so. And whether it's a person, a place, an event, we cover it all. We cover it all because it's part of our history here. And some of it's old history and some of it's new. And
you bet. It's very important. Many people don't realize that that if it wouldn't have been for the state of Nevada and the silver that was produced as a charity for a time after the Civil War, the United States owed more than what they were worth to France, Germany, and England. And unfortunately, if he wouldn't have come up with $8 or $9 million, we would have been France, Germany, and England instead of the United States of America.
Right.
So that's a very important historical connotation for Nevada, but also we basically were the first instrument of our one of the major monetary units in the world, a U.S. dollar.
So much happened.
Which was produced out of silver from the Comstock and stamped at the Carson City Mint.
Right. In fact, you're up there as a gold and silver baron yourself, carrying on the tradition up there, what started back in the 1800s, and you have a couple of enterprises up there, like the Marshall Mint, where you can get some specimens of what came out of the earth there. And you have a new ingot that you're making, right?
Yeah, Wild Mustangs of Nevada.
Yeah.
It's a 3-ingot set, and we're doing it to try and preserve the Wild Mustangs out here in Nevada.
Absolutely. A lot of the proceeds are going for the preservation of those horses. And then you also have that beautiful facility up there, the Silverland Inn and Suites.
Come on
right?
up and
Take your honey
hotel.
up there.
Have a romantic night out.
Yeah, what's that reservation number up there?
Yeah, 847-4484.
All right, very good. You're right. And in fact, we want to mention, too, that you're having another location right down here in Reno to make it easier for our folks down here on the flatland to get the
right over Reno Town Mall.
Yeah,
we should be open with it by Christmas.
Yeah, you're thinking maybe January.
It might be January.
Depending on permitting and stuff. But what a great move for you. We look forward to that. Let's get back to our special guests, Martin and Chris, both NFL alumni. And we always like to start the show, guys, with a little bit of history about where you came from. So, Martin, let me start with you. You're not from Reno originally, right? You started out in the Northwest somewhere?
Yeah, actually, I started out in Livermore, California.
Oh, okay.
Born there, and then high school and college in the Northwest, University of Washington.
So, Martin, let me ask you, how did you get back to Reno? How did you find Reno to live?
We just coming through.
You were?
Yeah, we had spent some time in Vegas and knew that's not where I wanted to be. A good place to visit, but not to raise kids.
And how many times have we heard that same story?
Fantastic,
about people who live other places, they come to Reno for whatever reason, and they say and look, wow, this isn't a bad place to live. Because it's got a great community, it's got a great look, the business potential is great here, so you're one of many, Martin, that have chosen to
Well, you know, one
live in
thing, a
Reno.
lot of people don't realize that the state of Nevada hired a gentleman who lives now over on California Avenue who developed the state's economic advertisement is what it is. But we have the same rules here as they have in Delaware, which you can form a company here the same as in Delaware.
Well, that's another great reason to come here.
So it's a great place to form a company.
Tax
so a lot of people,
It's
now,
like a no-brainer.
why is San Francisco has almost every CEO of every major company in the United States has an address in San Francisco?
Yeah.
I didn't figure that one out yet.
They live in San Francisco. Their corporate is over here. Yeah.
Something like that had to be going on.
It's because it's so easy to form a corporation here.
Maybe that's what
Yeah,
it is.
it's a lot easier and a lot cheaper too. And then we have Chris. And Chris, you have been in the area for quite a while, but did you start here in Nevada?
No. I grew up in Oakland, California, and then, of course, I went to undergraduate school at Stanford. Back
Stanford, huh?
late 50s, graduated in 60, and then back at that time was when the AFL first came into being, American Football League.
Right.
And so I was drafted by Cleveland in the NFL and by the Dallas Texans in the AFL, and after looking at the situation, I thought I'd cast my lot with the new league. And Lamar, I was living in the track house at Stanford, which is a little facility right there on campus. And Lamar comes rattling up in this old car. I thought here this big multimillionaire from Texas would be coming in, in a limousine. And he came in, he borrowed about a 36 Chevrolet from somebody. He and his general manager came up and knocked on my door, and it was Lamar Hunt. And, so I spoke to Lamar then and decided I'd cast my lot
with the AFL. And you played for 9 years, just like him. You went about 9 years, 8 years.
I went 8. I put my 8 in, full term, right?
We're going to get into.
I was let go for good behavior.
We're going to get into your career because it's one we definitely want to explore. But you retired from the NFL and you came directly to Reno, or what?
No. I'd gone to law school while I was playing. I'd started at SMU and then went to the University of Missouri, Kansas City. And I was going to come back to California to practice. So in '65, I came back, took the California bar. And then when I got furloughed, I actually got picked up in the expansion draft when the Cincinnati Bengals came in.
Oh, okay.
And I really didn't want to. At the time, I was a sports director at the Channel 4, the NBC station in Kansas City. I really didn't want to leave Kansas City, so I didn't go to Cincinnati.
Oh, okay.
And so I stayed in Kansas City for a couple of more years, then I decided I'd come back and practice law in California.
Yeah.
And moved back to Walnut Creek, California, and practiced there for about 35 years or so. Actually had the Pac-12 conference was one of my primary clients, so I kind of stayed connected with sports throughout that time.
Sure.
And then we moved up to Tahoe in '99, up to Incline Village. I'd remarried, and my last daughter, Josie, I kind of wanted her to grow up somewhere other than the Bay Area, so we moved up to Incline. And then when she got to high school, we moved to Arrow Creek because I didn't really want her coming over the pass in the winter on the school bus.
Sure.
So I've lived in Reno since that time.
Yeah, and you're loving it, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's an easy place to live, right?
Very easy place to live.
Yeah.
It's got everything you need. I think it's one of the unknown really great cities in the United States. It's still relatively small.
Yeah, we've got all the amenities, but yet it's still a small
Got everything.
small
Got the
community.
shows. You got.
Yeah, and everybody gets to know each other, it seems like.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Pretty
and everybody's got a giving spirit and wants to get involved in different things. And
hey, it's the mountains.
We're close enough to the mountains. Huh? So anyway, let's talk about the NFL, right? Okay. Pro League started back in the 20s, you were telling me, Chris, right? You weren't there then.
No, thank goodness. I wouldn't be here now.
But it started out as, like the Packers, for example.
Sure.
That was a local...
Town teams
Was what they were. And they eventually started, playing other towns and then cities. And before you know it, we got a pretty good enterprise going there, the NFL, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And you, like you said, started in high school, evidently, to the point where did you get a scholarship to Stanford, or?
Yeah, I did.
You did, huh?
I did. They weren't standing in line for me, but Stanford was one of the several that offered. So I was thrilled to go there. It's a great academic institution. So when that chance came up, I jumped on it.
Well,
that
fantastic.
That was smart.
So you played there 4 years, right? You played for 4 years?
Well, in those days, we had a freshman team, and then you could only play varsity 3 years.
Oh, okay.
And back then, it was 2 platoon originally, and then in the course of playing, it got to the point where you played both sides of the ball. Like the last couple of years I played, I know I played the last 10 games when I was a junior. I played 57 minutes a game.
Yeah, that's
a little different.
That was unusual. That was unusual because of you don't see that nowadays.
No, now it's
because
all
the rosters
one side
are
or the other.
57 players or 60 instead of the 30 or whatever it used to be, right?
We had 31 when the AFL started. Went to 33. We thought that was great. I got off the punt and kickoff team.
Yeah. So which side did you like best, defense or offense?
Are you kidding? No, I was mainly when I was in college. I led the nation in pass receiving back in 1959.
Fantastic.
So I was mainly
offensive
player.
Yeah. Now Martin was defense.
My mind was an offensive player.
Well, listen, we got to take a break here because we've carried on for quite a while. So let's take a break, Old Tales Nevada, and we'll be back with more stories about the NFL, and especially Super Bowl I. So stay tuned for that.
The beautiful fall colors are being duplicated in the fall collection of fashions at Boutique Elegante. Sweaters are either in the crayon colors for fall or soft muted shades in bark and beige. All of this and so much more at Boutique Elegante.
Buy Nevada First Gift Shop and Visitor Center at the Reno Town Mall is the place to buy local Nevada-owned products. There is over 4,000 square feet of unique items to choose from. Art, jewelry, books, music, inventions, clothing, candy, pottery, toys, even Nevada-made wine and more. Why, you can even purchase a gift basket full of Nevada-owned products. Buy Nevada First Gift Shop located at the Reno Town Mall, 4001 Virginia Street in Reno. Buy local first. Hi friends, join us November 12th for a gala evening of wine, hors d'oeuvres, and beautiful music at the Marshall Mansion. Seldom open to the public, this is your chance to tour the fabulous Reno landmark. Enjoy your favorite beverages surrounded by soothing music as you view the world-class treasures hidden within this iconic home. Hosted by Roy and Cynthia Marshall, this is an evening you will long remember. Tickets are limited and benefit our educational programs, the Nevada Historical Society and the Veterans Guest House. Reserve yours today.
For our cold winter days, jackets and vests are the perfect answer. Faux fur and faux leather are the strong fabrics for this season. Team them with maxi skirts for a beautiful seasonal look. All of this and so much more at Boutique Elegante.
All of us at Shoeman's Custom Cycle are ready to get you and your Harley ready for the road. From oil and tire changes to high-performance engine upgrades and dyno tuning, we at Shoeman's have got you covered with experienced factory-certified mechanics and a full-service machine shop loaded with parts and accessories. Shoeman's Custom Cycle has been serving Northern Nevada since 1988. So ride on down to Shoeman's Custom Cycle at 275 East 4th Street in downtown Reno.
Shoeman's Custom Cycle, we're the biker's bike shop.
Harry's Quality Cars is Nevada-born. In business for over 45 years. Not like those California guys who are here today and gone tomorrow. Harry has always been there for you, and Harry knows what Nevadans want. Harry has sold thousands of vehicles to Nevada families with straight talk and an honest deal. Harry has the right price, the right financing, and the right vehicle with a 90-day warranty on all. Go there today and see why Harry has earned the trust of Nevadans for over 45 years. He must be doing something right. We're back here in Old Tales of Nevada, past and present, talking with Martin Harrison from the 49ers, played there 9 years, and we're going to talk about that part of the NFL history in a few moments, in a little while. And in the meantime, we're going to talk with Chris Burford, who played for the Kansas City Chiefs way back in the AFL days. And in particular, Chris, we want to get to, so you got through college, you got drafted by the AFL,
right,
and then you're with the Kansas City Chiefs, and spent 8 years there. And you had some great quarterbacks there, right? Len Dawson being probably the most notable.
Lenny actually came to us in '62 when we were still in Dallas before the franchise moved to Kansas City in '63. So Lenny was really my quarterback most of the time. Cotton Davidson was a quarterback the first couple of years in Dallas. Then he got traded to the Raiders, and Lenny came in, did a hell of a job, obviously.
For sure. So you had the NFL, which was the long standard bearer for football, pro football.
And us kids.
And then this upstart comes in there about 1960 and starts competing with them. And they were rating each other's teams at some point, trying to steal the
quite a bit. And that kind of led to the merger, actually, is when it got to the point where some of the AFL hierarchy, Al Davis in particular, came in and went and signed 2 or 3 or 4 of the NFL stars, Brody and a few of the others, for some big money. That really woke up the old hierarchy in the old NFL, and so that led to the merger. And then they really, our group, we interlocked schedules. First of all, we interlocked the exhibition season in '67.
Right.
After we played that first Super Bowl.
That's what I want to get to.
And then the leagues merged.
So you had this competition going from 60 up to 67, and finally, because of some economic needs and protections, they decided to talk to one another and finally have a game between the NFL and the AFL, and it was the NFL AFL championship. They didn't call it Super Bowl to start with.
No, that was Lamar coined that term. He had the Super Bowl back. It was a little ball they would bounce in. He decided, Super Bowl sounds like a great name. That's how it came.
And that's how it stuck. So anyway, they had these two teams, the Packers, who were really strong.
Good football team.
Yeah, and everybody thought that they were just going to wipe you guys off the map. And they almost did, actually.
Well, it was 14-10 at the half. You got to remember, and then we kind of lost control because.
But there was a lot of tension going on between the NFL, AFL, and the teams. From what I understood and what I read was before the game. This was probably one of the more stressful, anxiety-filled moments in their careers.
Well, I think it was mainly for Vince Lombardi because he had the pressure of all the old ownership and the hierarchy of the NFL, and I think he felt a lot of pressure. If he'd have come in and they'd stubbed their toe and fallen to us, that would have been tough on the old NFL. It took until the third year, actually, with Namath and the Jets where the AFL won, and then Kansas City, of course, won Super Bowl IV.
A little anecdote about that. They said there was an announcer who was interviewing Lombardi before the game, and they said his hands were just shaking, because he was so nervous about, his role in that game and what his team would do. So that's how. And
I think he got a lot of phone calls from the old boys, from Hallis and the rest of the guys.
Yeah, for sure. And then on the other side, your side, you beat what team did you beat?
Buffalo.
You beat Buffalo 31-7. Pretty bad. Yeah. Pretty bad beating.
Yeah.
And you did a lot of receptions in that game.
Few.
So anyway, you come into the game and you had the same pressure really on you, and probably not as bad as the NFL's team. But from what I read about the locker room and what happened in the tunnel and stuff, it was evidence that you guys were pretty stressed out as well.
Oh, I think everybody was stressed out, particularly you're waiting around. This thing is a lot of hype and a lot of publicity.
Yeah.
You're out in L.A. for that week 10 days before, so everybody was prepped and ready to go.
Yeah, and the guys were throwing up in the tunnel, I understand.
Well, we had a couple of guys, which it was really funny. Cheryl Hedrick in particular, our team wasn't ready to play till Cheryl would go out and throw up because he did that before every game. We knew it was game time. Let's go.
So anyway, the reporters picked up on that kind of thing. But I would imagine you guys all felt the need to win this game.
Oh, we all wanted it badly.
Because you wanted to show your quality.
We'd taken a lot of reviews from Tex Mall and a few of the other guys at Sports Illustrated by then.
Yeah.
So we're ready.
So here you are in the Coliseum in L.A., right?
Oh, yeah.
Potential to probably put 100,000 people in there, but this was the first Super Bowl, not Super Bowl 50. So how many people actually showed up?
There were only middle 60s. I mean, there was vacant spots up in the stadium, surprising. Well, those tickets were so expensive, they were like $15.
$15, yeah. $15 won't even get you in line to go in the stadium nowadays, you know what I mean? So, but $15, because they wanted to get people there, I suppose, right?
Oh, no, that was a big ticket price. Back in those days, a lot of game tickets were $3, $5, $7, $10.
Yeah.
That was a high price.
I remember going to an NFL game. I think it was at Yankee Stadium, actually. And the Giants were playing. Did they play at Yankee Stadium?
I think they might have.
I think they did
at different times.
Yeah. So I'm sitting in the.
They didn't have that
there.
fancy new one.
I was sitting in the bleachers behind the goalpost somewhere, and Y.A. Tittle was the quarterback back in those days. Remember?
Yeah, he was there before 49ers.
Yeah, that was my first NFL experience. Next one was with the 49ers over there at Candlestick. That must have been a fun place to play back in those days.
I love Candlestick.
It was always windy and wet, and
not always.
Not always.
But when it was rainy, it was windy and wet. Absolutely.
Wet, yeah. You can tell us about that in a few minutes too. So anyway, here you go. You're in this Super Bowl one. You got Hank Stram on one side. He's the coach for you guys.
Right.
And who was the coach? Oh, Lombardi.
Oh, Vince Lombardi, sure.
Hall of Famers, both of them, right?
Oh yeah.
As far as coaches?
Both great coaches.
And then you had some fabulous players on both sides. You had Len Dawson.
Oh, sure.
Now, he's a Hall of Famer.
Yes.
Isn't he? And then on the Packers, there was probably 8 of them on that side.
Oh, they had a bunch of men. They had Bart Starr, which is a wonderful player. They had a bunch of good defense.
Nitschke?
Yeah, Nitschke is middle linebacker over there.
Adderley was there? Herb
Adderley was one corner.
Yeah. So on and went. You had these guys.
You seem to know all those guys. They had great players, wonderful players.
Great players. So how did the game go, in your opinion? I mean, you said...
Well, the game started out, and people forget, but it was relatively close. The halftime was like 14-10.
Yeah.
And I really thought when we went into halftime, I thought we were going to take it and win the game. And, we came out in the second half, and we had one series that really killed us. And it was a play where it was a pass, and somebody tipped the ball, and then he just tipped the ball. It fluttered. Willie Wood made the interception down around there, 20-yard line or whatever, because we'd been moving the ball. And he ran it back all the way back to like the 4-yard line, and they scored. And when you played Green Bay, if they got up on you like 21-10, it was very tough to come back. They had great defensive players, good coaching, and and then you kind of get in that semi-panic mode because you only got a quarter left. You got to put 2 or 3 scores on the board against what was then the best team in pro football, and we didn't do it. It wasn't that we didn't think we could. It didn't happen. And so it was disappointing.
Well, you did personally pretty well.
I caught 4 or 5 passes for 60, 70 yards.
That's not bad in those days.
No, that was kind of average game.
But with that defense, that's pretty good production, I would think.
Yeah, well, they had good defensive backs. Jeter was a tough little good corner. And I know I brought some. I don't know if we're going to see those pictures.
Yeah, we'll get them on.
I'm upside down.
Oh,
where
your head is kind of 6 inches into
horseman.
That's such a big difference between modern day, like where Martin was playing, and what you did when you were in the trenches. The way they hit people back in those days, the rules weren't near as significant as they are today.
You were free meat until the whistle blew, You had a lot of hands on you and a lot of contact. prior, they could do almost anything until the ball was in the air.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they weren't watching, so
Another unusual thing about that game was it was simulcast on 2 different networks. You don't see that nowadays.
No, not at all, because the contracts are so different. Yeah. But then the AFL had its own contract, the NFL had its own, so they did each one broadcast the game.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you this. As far as I know, you, Roy's curious about this too, about the ball itself. Now, was
2 different balls.
2 different balls, yeah.
Yeah, the AFL ball was slightly less round. The NFL ball was a little fatter. The AFL ball was a little slimmer. Theoretically, they thought the slimmer ball was better for throwing and the other better for carrying.
Okay. And I remember they had different colors, right, for the AFL? You were red, white, and blue or something?
No.
Oh, was that the basketball? Maybe that's basketball.
I think that might have been ABL, Yeah.
But they were both pigskin, right?
Sure.
Yeah, I was interested in that because of the helmets that were used in the early days were very similar to the miners' helmets during the 1890s.
We didn't have the headlight.
I'm pretty sure that they were pigskin too.
They were pigskin, yeah. They used a lot of pigskin.
I think that the helmets that the early football players wore were pigskin too.
So so over time, I suppose the league had to make a call on what size the ball was going to be. So modern day ball different from maybe the '67 ball. I don't know. So when you lost that game, what significance did it have for the team? What did it do for the league? Was there a lot of catching up you had to do, or
we got from all different sides? Some of them said, "Oh, we told you what would happen," but they really kind of denigrated the league, which really kind of made us unhappy. Said something else. Yeah. But so we ended up playing the Chicago Bears in an exhibition game following in the next July, August. And we ended up beating the Bears 66-24. We thought we'd slap it on them a little bit. A little revenge. Butkus was mouthing off at the time, and some of the other guys were a little vocal. And so when we started nailing them pretty good, we just kept at it. Richie Pettibone was a safety for them. Richie asked me in the third quarter of the game, says, "Hey, Chris, when are you guys going to lay off?" And I told him, I said, "It won't be tonight, Richie. It won't be tonight."
Of course, that was exhibition, so they could always, And
it was more than an exhibition.
It was revenge.
Yeah. So what happened so second Super Bowl was the Packers again, wasn't it?
Packers beat the Raiders in the second one, and then finally we had the Jets come along and beat Baltimore in the third one, and then Kansas City won the.
Were you still with them then?
No, I got furloughed in '67, the expansion draft. I got picked up by Cincinnati.
Oh, that's right. You didn't want to
players, and they could pick off the roster, and so I got picked.
So you never got the big ring, huh? You got a ring.
I've got.
And we'll show that.
I've got my Super Bowl losers ring.
Okay, good enough. We're going to come back with more Old Tales in Nevada and more about the NFL right after we hear from a couple of our great sponsors. So stay tuned. Hi friends, join us November 12th for a gala evening of wine, hors d'oeuvres, and beautiful music at the Marshall Mansion. Seldom open to the public, this is your chance to tour the fabulous Reno landmark. Enjoy your favorite beverages surrounded by soothing music as you view the world-class treasures hidden within this iconic home. Hosted by Roy and Cynthia Marshall, this is an evening you will long remember. Tickets are limited and benefit our educational programs, the Nevada Historical Society and the Veterans Guest House. Reserve yours today.
Yikes! Look what's in your carpet and tile. Dirty, nasty dust mites, bacteria, germs, and pet odor. Make the right choice and call A-Choice Carpet and Tile Cleaning today. They use a two-step system that removes all that nasty stuff from your carpet and tile, and they offer baby-safe cleaning products. Call A-Choice today. The first 25 customers to call will get 3 rooms cleaned for the price of 2. Call today, 745-1863.
Somewhere in Time is the place to find what will be treasured for all time. A store full of the unexpected, with one of the largest beer and sports memorabilia collections on the West Coast. Vintage toys, casino and brothel memorabilia, Venton glassware, kerosene lamps from the 1800s, sun purple glassware, vintage neon, new and enlarged collections throughout the store. Have fun with the whole family and check out all the inventory in the store. Find the unexpected. They'll be treasured for all time at Somewhere in Time.
All of us at Shoeman's Custom Cycle are ready to get you and your Harley ready for the road. From oil and tire changes to high-performance engine upgrades and dyno tuning, we at Shoeman's have got you covered with experienced factory-certified mechanics and a full-service machine shop loaded with parts and accessories. Shoeman's Custom Cycle has been serving Northern Nevada since 1988. So ride on down to Shoeman's Custom Cycle at 275 East 4th Street in downtown Reno.
Shoeman's Custom Cycle. We're the biker's bike shop.
Welcome back here to Old Tales of Nevada, past and present, talking about the history of the NFL and Super Bowl I. And we have Martin Harrison with us, who played in the 90s. And then before that, way before that, is Chris Burford, who played in the 60s, but had a great career ending with Super Bowl I. And you know, how many people in the world can say they played in a Super Bowl? I said, that's for sure.
Well, as far as Super Bowl I, probably about 40 or 50 of us are still alive.
Yeah, that's great. But what a privilege. What a neat thing. And you're living right here in Reno, Nevada. You know, we talk about this all the time.
Yeah,
You're right about how many great people we have in Northern Nevada that many of us never heard of living here. You know, but they have these great careers. You have these great careers. You know, so it's wonderful to be able to get you on the show. But we were talking about our last segment, your ring. Now, that's not the Super Bowl ring.
No, that's our AFL. This is an AFL championship ring from that same year.
Roy knows his jewelry, and he says that's a nice ring.
Yeah, that's a good ring. Got a little nice little diamond
in there, little rubies.
Yeah.
Does that match your team colors? Is that what that's supposed to be?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. And this is your jersey.
That's a jersey from back at that time, like we wore.
So you pull that out at night and just
not too
your glory days?
Not too often anymore. And then they had these little tiny cufflinks. They used to have a tie bar went with it that said first AFL NFL championship game. It wasn't the Super Bowl then.
No, it wasn't.
This was the official name of it, AFL NFL.
Yeah, absolutely.
Championship game.
Well, thanks for bringing those memories back to us.
A little different.
My wife and I were talking about it the other day, and my wife actually remembers us sitting there. We had a bunch of folks over, and we watched that game.
Yeah.
You know, and so here I am visiting.
You're dating yourself.
I was just a young whippersnapper. I think it was I married young, about 15.
Yeah.
I always say my wife robbed me out of the cradle.
That's right.
No, it was a great experience, and we really enjoyed it. So, but you know, time marches on, and the NFL continued to grow and get better with the merger of the two leagues, which occurred in the 80s, I suppose. No,
the merger came in '67. They interlocked the exhibition season, and then shortly after that, a couple years there, they interlocked the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
You know, they had to really schedule for television.
Yeah. And it's a fantastic sport. I think it's probably the most popular sport in the United States right now.
I think you get more viewers.
Yeah, a lot more viewers. And as time went on, the game just got better, got more wide open, bigger. It seems. And you were called a split end in those days. Yeah. But now we call them wide receivers. And,
right.
You know, different terminations. But because of the passing game, it's become a lot more exciting over the years.
Well, the passing's evolved. I mean, you know, we used to throw the ball maybe between 20, 25 times. Now they're throwing the ball 30, 35 times a team.
A team. Right.
So, you know, the passing game has
really
become bigger and bigger.
I've got a question I want to ask you guys, too, about the football itself, that the NFL and some of the other leagues have noticed that some of the players pick up the ball and then try and let air out of it. What's the purpose?
Well, they said that was deflate the grain. Well, if the ball is real hard and slick when they're new, they're really pretty slick. You can throw them. That would be tough, but they could get a better feel and a better grip on the ball if it didn't have quite as much pressure in it. And I think that was the reason.
That was a big story last
I
week.
don't think it changed the game any, but you
In
can't
fact, they
fool
scored
the
less points
equipment.
when it was deflated than when it was inflated. So, yeah,
You know,
so that's a whole other story.
depends if these guys are beating you up. They have a tough time scoring.
Well, Martin Harrison, we want to get you back into the game here. No pun intended. But you came on after Chris a couple of decades later in the 90s. When did you enter the NFL?
1990.
1990. Now, were you one of those players that played both sides of the ball, or were you strictly a defensive?
I was outside linebacker, defensive end, and all the special teams. I never got myself off the kickoff team, kickoff return, punt team, punt return. A big guy that can run down there and hit somebody.
Yeah, that's got to be one of the most dangerous parts of the game, I would think, because you're flying by the time you.
Yeah, you're full speed, and you got people coming the opposite direction, full speed. It's like a freeway when the cars pass. It's full speed, so you really keep your head on a swivel.
Yeah,
which is like looking because someone's coming to get you.
Wow,
someone's coming hard.
So no doubt you were drafted because of your toughness and the way you tackled and your aggressiveness. That had to be ingrained in you, right? I mean, if you weren't going out there turning it on, turning it off, you had to be aggressive.
It was full time. You got to be all on the whole time. I came out of University of Washington as a 3-year starter, and it set a school record for tackles for loss in the backfield, and at the same time I still did punt, I still did kickoff team, and if you're tired after doing your whole defensive series and it's like go punt the ball and go get it or vice versa, punt return, just running the whole time.
Running all the time. I think I asked you off camera before we started the show if you ever, as you went to tackle somebody, maybe the quarterback or some other guy, that you in a split second say, no, I think I'm not going to hit him quite as hard because I might hurt the guy. You ever think like that?
No. I never did. I hit everybody as hard as I could. And actually, some of the guys I hit, retrospect, I'm like, I wish I would have.
Yeah.
But actually, I hurt Stan Humphries from San Diego, quarterback, in the preseason game.
Yeah.
Hit him, legal hit him real hard, and ended up separating his shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
And I had another couple guys I had knocked seriously silly, and had forgotten.
Well, you were telling me that somebody gave you a call just recently. You said he broke his guy's neck.
Yeah, that was high school.
That was high school.
It was a high school buddy on Facebook. He said, "Did you ever know that you had broken my neck?" And I said, "I had no idea. It makes you feel bad."
Now, but a lot of people say it's a violent game, but you don't go out there to create violence necessarily, do you? I mean, is it?
I see violence different, than violence to me is like being attacked with a knife or being mugged,
right?
Or a man beating his wife or girlfriend. To me, that's violence.
Yeah.
A former NFL coach said, it's not a contact sport; it's a collision sport.
Collision sport, yes. And with the collision, people get hurt from time to time.
You do get hurt, but you're not trying to hurt someone. That's the difference. You're not trying to hurt someone's knee or hurt someone's neck, but it does happen.
Yeah, and of course the NFL and the organization have progressively tried to change the rules so people didn't hit like they did in your day, Chris, right? And make it a little bit safer for everybody involved. But what was it like to be a rookie and walk into the 49ers training camp and see these guys like Montana and other guys that were just...
So I'm drafted in 1990, sorry to interrupt you. So we got Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, Ronnie Lott, all these Hall of Famers came off back-to-back Super Bowls.
Yeah.
And I'm a 10th round draft pick, so I'm just trying to make the team.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm doing my thing, I'm working hard, I'm running, I'm doing everything I can. And right before every practice, because the 49ers were who they were at the time, they had these white autograph balls.
Oh.
So before every practice, you'd sign the ball, and they'd give them to charities and different things.
Sure.
So I'm a new guy on the team, been there a month and a half, and we're going up the field. I'm signing the balls, and I'm hearing two former 49er players, both Pro Bowlers, both newly retired and in management and coaching. Their first year, they just got off the team, and you'd know their names. I'm not going to mention.
Yeah.
So in college, you have to keep up your grades to remain eligible,
right?
So you can keep playing,
right?
So I'm listening, and they're standing by the doorway on the way out, and they said, "This new class of guys in here, they're really dumb." well, that's my class. So now I'm really listening. I'm leaning in now.
Yeah.
And one says to the other, he goes, they're so dumb that if they were still in college, they'd be in algebra. So now I'm thinking algebra 1, 2, algebra 3, 4. Maybe he's in trigonometry, geometry. I don't know what he's talking about.
Too many concussions, maybe.
So the next guy agrees with him. He goes, you're right. If they were in college, they'd still be in algebra. So I'm thinking, I might have a good career because I'm smarter than these guys.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So how were you treated by those guys, those Hall of Famers, Jerry Rice's? Was there an elite class, and then the new guys come in? Is there initiation? Is there, how did they bring you along?
I think a lot of teams have initiations.
Yeah.
There wasn't that so much. The biggest thing was a great experience for me. The biggest thing was don't be the weak link. Don't be the guy that misses the tackle. Don't be the guy that shows up late. Don't be the weak link, because everyone was on their game. Practice didn't matter. Everyone was. I saw Jerry Rice in the 4 years I was there drop 2 balls, including game and practice. The entire time he dropped 2 balls.
Amazing.
He was absolutely
an outstanding worker in practice as he was on the field.
He would run down doing a cross route like this. And catch the ball with one hand and then keep running like this. Absolutely amazing.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely
Listen, we got to take another break here, so let's do that. We'll come back for our last segment on Old Tales of Nevada, past and present. History of the NFL. More coming your way. Hi friends, join us November 12th for a gala evening of wine, hors d'oeuvres, and beautiful music at the Marshall Mansion. Seldom open to the public, this is your chance to tour the fabulous Reno landmark. Enjoy your favorite beverages surrounded by soothing music as you view the world-class treasures hidden within this iconic home. Hosted by Roy and Cynthia Marshall, this is an evening you will long remember. Tickets are limited and benefit our educational programs, the Nevada Historical Society and the Veterans Guest House. Reserve yours today. Harry's Quality Cars is Nevada-born, in business for over 45 years. Not like those California guys who are here today and gone tomorrow. Harry has always been there for you, and Harry knows what Nevadans want. Harry has sold thousands of vehicles to Nevada families with straight talk and an honest deal. Harry has the right price, the right financing, and the right vehicle with a 90-day warranty on all. Go there today and see why Harry has earned the trust of Nevadans for over 45 years. He must be doing something right.
All of us at Shoeman's Custom Cycle are ready to get you and your Harley ready for the road. From oil and tire changes to high-performance engine upgrades and dyno tuning, we at Shoeman's have got you covered with experienced factory-certified mechanics and a full-service machine shop loaded with parts and accessories. Shoeman's Custom Cycle has been serving Northern Nevada since 1988. So ride on down to Shoeman's Custom Cycle at 275 East 4th Street in downtown Reno.
Shoeman's Custom Cycle, we're the biker's bike shop.
We're back for our last segment here on Old Tales of Nevada, past and present. Just to remind everybody who we are, I'm John O'Brien, the host of the show. Over on that side of the set is Martin Harrison from the 49ers, an alumni. And in the middle over here, between the two ball players, watch out, Roy. These guys know how to tackle. Roy Marshall.
I don't think they're going to tackle me in the pool.
And Chris Burford over here, who played for the Kansas City Chiefs, was in the first Super Bowl. And a great experience for him and for all of us to be learning about those memories. Going back to you guys now, being around those All-Stars must have been something else. And you said you didn't have such initiation in the 90s, but you certainly had your fun as an initiation back there in the 60s. They make you get up on a table and sing songs and all that kind of thing.
Alma mater.
In odd ways.
In odd ways.
I was curious. Salaries certainly changed between the time you were in the league, right, Chris? For example, what did you make as a loser in the Super Bowl?
I think we made $7,500 as the loser. Coming into the league minimum was $6,000 a year back in 1960, and we had a number of guys making that. And the most I ever made playing was $15,000 on my regular contract.
Wow.
And then the whole season, championship games and all, maybe about $22,000, which nowadays these guys wouldn't play the first quarter for $22,000.
Exactly. Now, Martin, when you were a 10th round draft choice in 1990, I don't suppose there was a lot of money in signing bonuses or anything then, was there?
I think my signing bonus was a couple of thousand. I was number 276th pick, by the way.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's a feather in your cap, because coming in that low and being able to be a starter on the 49ers has got to take something.
I lasted 9 years, and the average career was 2.5, 3 years, I think, at the time.
Did you get up into six figures eventually as you...
I made $50,000 my first year, 72 I think my second year, and then a couple years of 100,000 or more.
That's amazing compared to what they're doing now. I mean, you don't even get on the field, right? I mean,
I don't even know what the minimum's like, $500,000.
$500,000 at least, right? Yeah.
It's a lot safer now, too.
Well, it's a lot safer, too. Yeah, you guys are putting your neck on the line.
It's around $420 now, the minimum.
Yeah.
Did either one of you guys get hurt permanently from the game? Or?
I've got an artificial knee, and I got fingers that go both ways. I've had a shoulder that's redone, and but it's been okay, been livable.
Martin, what about you? How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm livable. I played 5 years in college football and 9 years in the NFL, and got my first knee surgery 8 years into the NFL.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Inevitably, it's just like skiing. You're going to get hurt eventually if you ski long enough, right? Yeah. But the equipment and everything else has certainly progressed from the time Chris was there to your time, and even now. So, how did you get the respect of Montana and Rice, and how did you go from a 10th round draft choice to being a starter on the 49ers? I mean, were there injuries that put you into those positions, and you had a chance to shine, you took advantage of it? How did it all come about?
Yeah, the first thing, the way you earn the respect is just going out there, working hard, learning the defense, and being reliable.
Yeah.
And when things are tough and you get tired and you're getting beat up and you're bleeding, you're still going hard.
Yeah.
You're in the respect of your cohorts that way. So the one I really wanted to respect from was Ronnie Lott. As a defensive player, I was like, I want him to be able to respect me.
Sure.
And then I want Joe to fear me because I'm coming after him.
Exactly. So
you can't get to Joe in the practice.
Were guys, because you always had the veterans and then you had the rookies. How was that relationship? Because you were there to take their job. Somebody's always there to take your job, right?
Yeah, actually, when I first got there, Charles Haley, who's now a Hall of Famer, as pass rusher, he was holding out for more money. And so I was playing the preseason a lot more, which was really great for me. I got a chance to shine. I had 5 sacks in the preseason, and so he cut his negotiation off early to come back to camp. Now, he was the guy, no question, he was the guy. And then that's when I got a chance to play. Actually, it was when he went to Dallas. They traded him. That's when I got a chance to play.
Now, you never got into a championship game, did you? Well, you got into a championship game, but not a Super Bowl.
Right, exactly. Yeah. When I was with the 49ers 4 years, we were 14-2, 14-2, 13-3.
Amazing.
Yeah, amazing team.
Yeah.
If we lost, it wasn't by like we lost by 21 or 66-20. What do you say? We never got blown out by any means. So we got the 3 NFC championship games, lost all 3 of them very close, twice to Dallas, once to the Giants in 1990, and those 3 all won the Super Bowl.
Super Bowls. That's an amazing career to win that many games every year.
Oh, it's fantastic. And then from there on to the Vikings, and we were more middle of the road at that time. It was 8-8, 9-7. Get to the playoff, lose the first round.
Hold on. What is that?
And then I spent a year in Seattle with the Seahawks before they were any good. So.
Okay. That's our mascot, by the way.
So you played with the Vikings, huh?
Yeah. I enjoyed the time in the Midwest with the Vikings,
You did,
I really enjoyed that,
Yeah, that's a fun time.
You got a lot of money to the people in Minnesota there, University of Minnesota.
Yeah, a lot of great people there.
So what was your best memories about for both of you? I mean, when you think about your careers in the NFL, what sticks with you more than anything else about that?
I think some of the characters and the people you met and the guys you played with. I mean, I still email guys that I played with almost every day. 3 or 4 of the guys, I knew we just go back and forth and talk about things over time. And Kansas City is really good. They put on an alumni weekend every year And so if you're in the Chiefs Hall of Fame, you automatically get invited back.
Oh, okay.
So they fly you and your wife or significant other back to one of the games every year.
Great.
And put you up at the hotel, and you're at the stadium. You do the halftime introduction. And, it's just kind of fun just to have the little camaraderie that you had from the old days.
Same with you, Martin?
It's the camaraderie. That's exactly the word I was going to say. Getting better.
Even with change of owners and things like that?
Yeah, because the guys you played with are still the same.
Yeah.
You know, you get a little older, and you were talking about January 1967. I was born in September 67.
That's right, 49 years ago. Yeah, you never saw that.
I'm never eating the bassinet.
That is amazing that, some of our players, they never, we talk about, we were there, and then there weren't even a gleam in their mother, well, maybe a gleam in their mother's eye, I don't know. But
the ground that was blazed, I'm part of the recipient, so I appreciate it.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you this, guys. You're here in Reno. You have this great experience in the NFL. Do you do anything with the youth and with organizations to help motivate some of the young people or anybody in town?
We have an NFL alumni group here in town where there's 5 or 6, 7 of us that meet every so many weeks. Glenn Carano played, with the Cowboys. Manukian, who we had mentioned before, played. Myself, Don Burke in the old days. A number of guys that are still in the area, so we have get-togethers, and then we go out to schools and we'll do a thing, and we give some awards out to the high school students in the area each year. At the end of the year, we have their Player of the Year, both on the female and male side.
How about you, Martin? How are you involved in the community, or are you too new to the community to?
I still need to get plugged in. I don't know about
We'll get it.
Well, who's the former head coach of Oakland Raiders? He was living in Sparks. So he's African American. Big. He used to play defense for the Oakland Raiders, and then he became coach.
Art Shell?
Art Shell. I heard he was in the area someplace, too. I don't know if
I'm not sure if Art was. I know Upshaw lived up in the Tahoe area here for a period of time.
Maybe that's the one I'm thinking of.
But,
well, you have to get connected, Martin. These guys, they can help you.
Yeah, well, I need to here and learn.
But he's a young whippersnapper compared to you guys,
We need some of these children in here.
You don't have an initiation, do you?
No standing on the chair.
You guys got to see this football. NFL gave it out to everyone who played in a championship game like Chris did here. It's fantastic. We went to all the different high schools around the country from all the different players. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. So you got that up in your trophy cabinet, I hope, huh?
Yeah. It comes down.
Well, you guys have just done such a wonderful job with your lives, and it just brings us pride to have you living in our area, so we can tap you for that kind of a story.
We came here because it's a good place.
It is a good place. It is a wonderful place.
And these guys are staying in shape, too.
They actually are, yeah. I mean, really. What do you, if you don't mind me asking, what's your age? 78, and
almost 9.
You're a young 49.
Yeah, I'm 39 now.
39. Well, listen, guys, we appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to be with us. And again, you're part of the history of Old Tales in Nevada. And as we always say, we're archived in the Historical Society and Special Collections. So 50 years from now, you can look back and see this story again. So thanks for being with us. And looking forward to seeing you around, guys.
Fun being here.
And thank you to the audience for being with us as well, because without you, we wouldn't be able to do the show. And thanks to you, Roy, for providing the funds to do the show each week. We want to remind you about our Music at the Mansion, which happens right here on November 12th, and there's tickets available for that. And you'll be able to meet you, Roy, and a lot of great folks in the community that support the show. So we'll see you then. Have a great Nevada day, and we'll see you next week. Hi, friends. Join us November 12th for a gala evening of wine, hors d'oeuvres, and beautiful music at the Marshall Mansion. Seldom open to the public, this is your chance to tour the fabulous Reno landmark. Enjoy your favorite beverages surrounded by soothing music as you view the world-class treasures hidden within this iconic home. Hosted by Roy and Cynthia Marshall, this is an evening you will long remember. Tickets are limited and benefit our educational programs, the Nevada Historical Society, and the Veterans Guest House. Reserve yours today. Harry's Quality Cars is Nevada-born, in business for over 45 years. Not like those California guys who are here today and gone tomorrow. Harry has always been there for you, and Harry knows what Nevadans want. Harry has sold thousands of vehicles to Nevada families with straight talk and an honest deal. Harry has the right price, the right financing, and the right vehicle with a 90-day warranty on all. Go there today and see why Harry has earned the trust of Nevadans for over 45 years. He must be doing something right. Hi friends, John O'Brien from Old Tales of Nevada along with Roy Marshall, and we want to spend a few minutes here talking about our special event coming up November 12th, Music at the Mansion, where you'll have the opportunity to be in this beautiful mansion, enjoy some wine, some hors d'oeuvres, but most importantly, to support our efforts in bringing history to Nevada.
To the area.
And we're doing it for the show, Old Tales in Nevada, as well as a couple other great causes here in town, the Nevada Historical Society and the Veterans Guest House. But we want to focus a little bit about being a friend of the Old Tales in Nevada show, because that's what your admission charge to this event brings to you. It's not only the tour of the mansion, but you become a friend of Old Tales in Nevada. And that means that you will help us to preserve the oral and visual history of Nevada. So I know that's a great passion that you have, Roy, and we want to do more with the show. So being a friend of Old Tales in Nevada gives us the opportunity to do that. For example, you talk about a lot of these old mining camps that are around Nevada, like Ione, Belmont, Manhattan, and having some extra resources, we'll be able to go out to these locations.
We need to.
Yeah, and look at some of that gold and silver that you find out in these places and talk about some of the events with some of the people who are living there.
Well, we have to remember how very important that was to the formation of the United States of America during that Civil War period. That's why we're called
Battle-born, yeah.
And really, if we wouldn't have done that, we probably would have been another country.
Right, exactly.
So the fact that the miners were able to donate to Abraham Lincoln after the war just put America on the map.
Exactly.
And that's why we're famous here, and it's all historical.
Yeah. So to become a friend of Nevada, it costs you $35 for the year, and what you'll get is a pin that you can put on your lapel. Okay, which identifies you as a friend of Old Tales Nevada. And then beside that, you get to come to the mansion and tour the mansion. And then beyond that, there are discounts available. For example, at the Marshall Mint, you get a discount for anything you buy there.
Come on up there.
At the Silverland Inn and Suites.
Yep.
And as we move along, we'll have discounts at other retail friends of Old Tales in Nevada.
Sure.
Okay, so that's going to be a great thing, and we want to invite people to become involved because this
we
show.
want people to become involved, and our plans are is to go around to other small communities and towns, including Las Vegas and big ones. But there's so many wonderful little towns in Nevada that we will have the ability to bring to you on this show, and that we encourage you to go out and either grab a tent or find a motel or whatever. Get out and enjoy it out here in Nevada.
That's right. Be proud of Nevada and be a friend of Old Tales in Nevada. So let's do that. You'll see the information on the screen so you can become a friend of Nevada. We'll see you on the next show.
Sounds good.